In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change brake pads and rotors on a second generation Chevy Equinox. I don't know if you can see here the amount of brake dust that's on this wheel, but once we get this wheel off, I have a feeling that we're going to see a pretty bad brake pad on this side. So I'm going to show you that I've trucked the front wheels. Alright, so before we take pressure off the wheel or the tire, I'm going to go ahead and break the lug nuts loose. And all that does is it keeps the wheel from turning while you're trying to break them loose. Alright, now that the wheel is off the ground, we'll go ahead and remove these the rest of the way. So here's where I used the lift point for the jack, and I don't know if the lighting is good enough, but this first piece of metal is the pad, or the carrier if you will, and then this piece right here is the rotor. So these are metal on metal. I'll show you more as I get it taken apart. So one thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to open the cap for the brake fluid reservoir, and then that'll allow us to push fluid back into it when I compress the piston here, which I'm about to do. And while we're doing this, we'll see if there's any seizing of the caliper slides. I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, it's moving freely. I just want to go slow. So you just run this in until it stops. And then we'll take the caliper bolts off, and then we'll take the caliper bracket bolts off. Oh. Alright, I'm going to bring you in so you can see the bolts. So I'm going to be removing this bolt and this bolt. They are a 14 millimeter. Okay, it looks like this top one, I'm probably going to use a wrench to break it free. Alright, let's take a look at the brake pads. Alright, so you can see there's nothing left. can see how thin that is. I still had a little bit on this side. I bet the back side is gone just from the sound and the feel. Yeah, here you can see that it was metal on metal on the back side here. Alright, so now it's time to take the caliper bracket off and then the rotor. And I'm going to guess that these are 15 millimeter here and right here. We might need a little extra juice on this, so I'll grab a breaker bar. Once you got them broke loose, switch back over to your ratchet. Okay, caliper bracket's off, so now it's time to take the rotor off. And to do that, we've got a Torx bit right here, and once we get that off, we should be able to knock this loose and get the rotor off. Alright, so this is a T30. For those of you keeping track, there's a 14 millimeter on the caliper, a 15 millimeter on the caliper bracket, and a T30 for this. Okay. So we're probably going to need a little help from a sledgehammer to break this loose. And I think I have one. This part gets kind of loud. This one's a little difficult because there's a dust shield that goes all the way around. So I'm probably just going to be hitting on it a little bit, trying to get it to break free. What it's catching on is the corrosion around this center hub. Alright, I'm gonna go grab the new ones. So in the original, there's a little rubber piece right here I'm going to take out and transfer to the new rotor. You can see. So I'm just going to put it there. Put this new hub on. Make sure the hole here lines up here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put it back together the same way we took it apart. Now I need to put new hardware on the caliper bracket. So I'm going to go grab that. So I'm just going to pop this old hardware out with a screwdriver. Take a small steel brush or a wire brush. Take a small wire brush and clean up the surface where the new hardware goes on. And our new hardware. Alright, so the one that was on the back side had this tab on it that is clearly broken off right here. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like that. So more than likely what had happened, this was a fleet vehicle at one time, and my guess is they broke this back when it started squeaking because they didn't want to change pads. But anyway, here we are. We're going to put this, load this caliper bracket back up. This was on the back side. You can see what I'm doing here, just lining it up. And these pads came with an anti-friction pad on here, so I don't have to put any grease on it or anything like that. And here we are loading the caliper. Okay, put it back in place where it goes. Here we are with the 15 millimeters. Gonna tighten them up. Get these snugged up pretty good. Okay. Now the caliper might still need to be squeezed in a little bit more. You'll be able to see that right here really well. This piston might not be in far enough for this to go on. It's not. So I'm going to grab another clamp and get that taken care of. You can see that caliper or the piston going back in a little. There we go. I think it just bottomed out. So now should go on well. Yep, perfect. These are the 14 millimeter bolts. So there it is, a pad and rotor installation on a 2011 Chevy Equinox. Just wanted to show you a comparison between these two pads. So this is the old one that I took off, that you can see where It had gone all the way through the actual pad. Here's the new one, and that's where the problem lies. I didn't have any material to help me stop. So just repeat these same steps on the opposite side and you'll be done with your brake job. Now at this point what I do, put the wheel back on, I'll show you that. Then I start the vehicle and I pump the brakes, and that just gets the caliper or piston pushed back out. It gets the fluid from the reservoir pushed back as far as it's going to go, and then I go to the other side and start the other side. And again, here I'm going to snug up the lug nuts before I drop and put weight on the wheel. It just ensures that it's seated properly before tightening. Okay, so now I'm going to put it down and finish tightening them and then move to the other side. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some good information from this video. See you next time.